The Philippines is a country conformed by over 7,000 islands. I will present some of the most important or iconic aspects of 5 islands from this complex and diverse archipelago. I'll start with Manila, the capital of Philippines, a city where at first glance you can tell the contrast between those who have money and those who survive every day with only $3. On one way of the street, humble Filipinos selling fruit, and on the other suited people and amazing buildings. Reason why there is a constant vigilance on the streets and at the hotel entries by armed guards. Here in Manila is a wall of Intramuros, built by the Spanish to protect the governed site from the revolts of the natives and the attacks of the Chinese pirates. At the end of the Second World War, American and Philippine troops bombarded it in order to eliminate the Japanese soldiers who had hidden there, but given its historical importance, it was restored, although there are still some areas that show effects of the bombings. 2 hours south of Manila is the next island, Mabini, in the province of Batangas, area well known for its beautiful areas to practice diving, where for example, there is a grand cement cross blessed by Pope Juan Pablo II at the bottom of the sea and placed by the former Philippine President Fidel Ramos. To travel from some islands to another ones in the Philippines, you need to take a plane, such as to travel from the capital Manila to the next island, Cebu, which is considered the oldest city of the Philippines and the cradle of Christianity in this country, because it was the place where the explorer Fernando de Magallanes arrived and where he made his religion known. In 1521, a battle between Fernando de Magallanes and the king of the native Lapu-Lapu was held in Cebu, in order to repel a foreign invasion, a battle between 1,200 natives against 240 Europeans. Here is also the famous cross of Magallanes, which he raised himself at his arrival to show that he could introduce Christianity among the Philippines. There was his first mass, and about 800 people were baptized in that place. All of this happened in 6 days. Yes, 6 days since the arrival of Magallanes to Cebu, the placement of the cross, and the battle against Lapu-Lapu where Fernando de Magallanes would lose his life. Palawan is the largest province of the Philippines and is made up of innumerable islands. It is famous for its biodiversity and its landscapes. Here is the Underground National Park, which is one of the 7 wonders of nature and declared a World Heritage Site by the UNESCO. The surrounding villages live in extremely simple houses, although in all of them there is television and telephone coverage. The nearest town to the Underground National Park is called Sabang, and it is strange that it doesn't have infrastructure for tourism. It is a virgin town with a very simple lifestyle. This is the underground river, where along the 8-kilometer route there are larger chambers than the previous ones, filled with stalactites, stalagmites, and bats. The city of Davao, on the island of Mindanao, has a population of almost 1.5 million, and its trade grows prosperous in a more rural environment, has excellent beach and mountain resorts and many markets to explore. In them, it's easy to find durian. The durian fruit is very representative of Philippines, although it is not for all tastes. It has an unpleasant smell, but the description of this varies according to the person. It is so much that in many hotels they do not allow to enter it. Its bad smell is due to the fact that it has more than 50 chemical compounds, and the mixture of this is what causes it. Despite this, its taste is very sweet and it is rich in nutrients. It is covered with a hard layer with spikes, but inside it is very soft and its texture is very creamy. There are also many street food stalls of chicken, pork, fish, and chicken tripe banderillas. The largest of all is the public market, which belongs to the government, whom run the premises. These premises are almost always passed down in families from generation to generation. The market is divided into 4 buildings, the section of restaurants, fruit, haberdashery, and meat. Legazpi is a city on the island of Luzon, where the Mayon volcano is still active and has a height of 2,421 meters above sea level. Here is also another very famous volcano, the Pinatubo, for its most recent explosion in 1991, a very violent pyroclastic explosion. Which created an immense cloud of ash that will cover nearby areas. From a short trip by ferry from Legazpi, it's Camaroan, where in the distance you can still see the imposing Mayon volcano. From here, you can travel by bank, one of the typical maritime transport of the Philippines, to know the small surrounding islands. To appreciate the beautiful landscapes and explore, for example, the top of this mountain that was formed by coral and pile of shells without eroding for millions of years, give it this aspect. An hour from Legazpi is the water sports resort of Camsur, where tourists from all over the world come to practice wakeboarding and other activities. Around there are many accommodations, from the most luxurious hotels to lodgings in a lounge by the lake. The last city I'll talk about is south and is called Taclibaran, which is one of the islands of Bohol. There's a local law that requires that all motorcycle taxis have a religious phrase in the back. Philippines is extremely religious, and here is not the exception to find impressive centennial churches which were built when much of the world was yet to be discovered. An emblematic place of this island are the Chocolate Mountains, which can be seen from a viewpoint. The Mountains of Chocolate are called that because they are coral formations that have risen for millions of years. They have eroded, and when the summer comes, the grass that covers them dries up and turns brown. These formations are unique in their genre, although in reality, there are 1268 unique formations in their genre. There is a legend that tells they were formed when two giants threw stones and sand to each other in a fight. When they finished, exhausted, they left the island leaving their tomb there. In Corella, Bohol lives the second smallest primate in the world, the tarsier. They are animals in danger of extinction due to the destruction of their habitat, although there is a foundation that takes care of them here.